Hey, NASDAQ. We get the best dope on the markets. I am Alan Palmer, your human technical analyst from the old trading pits. We're going to start off here. It's Monday. We're coming in. Tomorrow's the last day of the month here. Today is the March 30th. See it in the yellow box? Here's a couple. This is the S&P here. Okay, we've gone back down to August. Okay, last year. And this just here, we have some bank problems. I talked about that JP Morgan thing. Let's call it a month ago, okay? And which actually was around here, right? This is the beginning of March, And while we were going here in this range for like ever, here's where we are. This on the way up here, okay? These would be a couple some areas to possibly look to sell here. This green one would be first. That red one is up where this is marked. Okay, and then you got X's right there. And then these areas right here. This is also going to be the first area right underneath this green here. This is at 66.16. That's S&Ps here. What we did is we've got crude oil here. Now it's up $1.16 here, okay? Call it 101, 103.40, okay, was the overnight high, okay? Last week in crude also where we were down big? That was on the 23rd, yeah, okay? So we were closed up here. This was last Monday, okay? Here's where we are this Monday, okay? We haven't opened the day session yet. We're going to open it in here in a little bit, few minutes, okay? Up here, I've had these, if you've seen this chart here, 103.65, 103.84. 103.48 was the high, okay? These are my two levels here, okay? You got a green here. Looks like something else also. Green here and an orange up here. This is a green of something else. All you need to know is I got two levels there within 20 cents. Okay? And so far we broke $2 off that. Okay? Let's go look at the August crude. Okay. So here is an August crude. Here's a crude, I said, actually, let's go look at this. I said, oh, okay. This was another one of these Trump announcements. Okay. It's like in silver. Silver went down to 61. Bulls and silver now have PTSD, but this is the one I wanted to show you here. So this went out on 3/27. So this is on late on a Friday. Okay. And then the 29th, I have some other things here that went out to clients. But let's look at this. Hang on. This looks like it's the wrong one. Okay. You know what? It looked like it was the wrong one because the number here we have August crude, okay, at 89.19. What time is this at? Well, it doesn't say the time. I'd have to look at the chart. Okay. Crude oil high, 88.19. Yeah, this is at 103, and it's getting all the... As a matter of fact, they're not even quoting this. They're quoting the one that's up at 115, which has nothing to do with the United States crude oil. We are WTI West Texas. Okay, so in the upper left-hand corner here, I got it on auto hide, so I got to sneak up there, and I'm going to grab August. Okay. Here's what August is, okay? 86.19 was the overnight high. I'll tell you something. I think in any event, 88.20 is a small... This is exactly... You know what this is exactly like? This is exactly like bean oil. Now, bean oil... The Friday's high on bean oil, okay? Bean oil is up again because we've got some news, okay? We got news on the biodiesel fuel mixture, and it's 60% is the figure. I don't know if that's a 60% increase or if that's what the market was looking for because we broke 300 points on that announcement, and that was due to being that they thought that the world is going to be able to import, the U.S. would be able to import tax-free bean oil for biodiesel. So anyway, here we had the sell here. We're $2 lower, okay? This is in a back month. This will have less volatility, okay? So if the front month that's moving around $2-3 or 10, okay, is too much for you, this might be a place where you want to hide, okay? Oh yeah, there is something bigger up there, okay? Just in case crude oil got up there. But for right now, I got this level. I got this level here. These are reds. I say disregard those, okay? And then this is, these were sells actually on the way up. And this green, where's the green? This green. This green would have been the buy on the way down. It played here also, but after we get over this olive line, okay, there's some things that you might want to learn, okay? You can learn these things. And that can give you the courage. If you don't have any numbers, okay, if you don't have any numbers and you just go off feel, this would be, because here, now this is tiny, okay, 50 cents over, you're out, or you're waiting one bar, Well, what bar? Okay, we'd have to have a talk about that. What's your trader profile? Okay, is it long term? Is it nanoseconds? Okay, or is it something in between? So here, let's look at gold. Man, 44.44 was the low last night. Right down here. Did we take it out? Oh, okay. That was the low here. At 8 o'clock. Okay, we broke down here at 8 o'clock. Okay, and then held. And then where did we hold on a closed basis? Okay, we held right here. It was similar to these other areas here where you don't close under a support area. Here was another one where all of a sudden we start trying to hold, and then you get one, and it throws the whole thing back. But then here you got this low, okay, which is kind of symmetrical with that low. I'm just saying, as a trader, if you're just looking, you know, because here you're under this, okay, so you're blowing stops. You're either buying it, you might be buying it when the algos will be buying it when it gets back over this light pink. And here you got this long-term trend line where they sucked up the selling all the way back to this. Okay, and you know what's wild here? I'm going to show you what this is. This is on a Trader Eye. Oh, October 19th of 2025. Okay, that was last year. Okay, that was probably some kind of high on the way up. Okay, so now you're believing that might be a sell. Okay, here we got this right here up at the high here. 46.11 is the high in gold. I don't know. You know, I think you have a bid down here. You know, you might have to buy these things on the way down here. I'm just saying here because here we got this big ass head and shoulders here, boys. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you another neckline right here. How about to this? To this. Okay, here it's the exact low. You know, here you're dicking around this green. Okay, high in the green, low in the green, low in the green. Okay, here you get second time down here. I'm just saying here. Okay, and then here you kind of come up here, and then you go down here. But head, left shoulder, or right shoulder. This one right here. This one that we just played today. Let's make this a, I don't know, let's make it a, okay, let's go with a kind of red. Okay, 45.50. Okay. So if you, for example, if you're really looking to buy it here, you buy it here, possibly this, does this line play over here? You know, because that's coming up from something back there, okay? And these are kind of new lows because we just broke 1,000, 1,100 off top, maybe 1,200 off top tick, okay? So this is a break to buy. In the whole macro scale of things, okay, why did gold break? Okay, Turkey. I've been talking about central banks selling gold here since that same Tuesday when I was just like, this is absolutely devastating for India, the BRICS nations, all the nations that are trying to take the United States and Trump down. As a matter of fact, let's go here. I just saw the page 43. Hang on. Okay, this is the Nifty. This is where March 9th, okay, this was the low. This was the first high in crude, $1.20, okay, that everybody's been talking about, and that was in WTI, okay. So we're actually under the old highs, okay. So all this hype, now listen, there are shorts in here, these nations that are short. India is short. Turkey is short. They sold gold because that was one of the most liquid things to raise cash to pay for cab fares, okay? And it's a joke, but it's not a joke. They are. India passed 6.2 billion, I don't know, I think it's dollars, rupees, whatever, to help taxi drivers. Just think of it that way. Public transportation, okay? The government is going to take on this debt, and they don't have any crude oil. So anyway, so this is the Nifty here. Let's go look at it on a weekly, and let's just see if... Okay. So we're going back here. Here, how about this? You want to... I don't know what this was. Okay. Okay, right around here. Okay. Hint, pay attention. Okay, 51.11. Can you see it nice in there? Okay, so whatever this closed at here, I don't know. They're open. I get end of day data here. So if one was looking to buy the Nifty, for example, okay, you could pause the screen here. But I don't know if India plays this sequence. Okay, I don't know. So that's a weekly there. This is Meta. Oh yeah, this is Meta. Goodness gracious. I saw that $375 million judgment and had a client trader, former pit trader, and a client on the phone. We were talking, and I'm like, yeah, Microsoft's up, you know? Does it not matter? Okay, then the news got this, and then we were lower. The news was on here, actually. One of the shows I watch. You want to know what show you might be interested in watching? You know, just instead of hate fake news. So anyway, so this is Meta. Let's see how far we go back here, okay? You know, it's an open-ended liability here because they really found Meta guilty of brainwashing, and the AI god is just brutal. It really is. I have the transcript of a boy talking to the AI god that actually I think these companies might have owned, or Google, and they sold it because they took partnership but sold it. And it's so they tell the kid, well, come to me then. You know, what if I told you I could come to you right now? Talking to the AI god. Well, come to me, my son. And then the kid killed himself. That's what that $375 million judgment is about. Okay, that's what happened there. Come to me, my son. AI god tells you to off yourself. Okay, so let's look here. If you have an interest here, for example here, equity, these are my charts, okay? Nikkei and Hang Seng, Planetar, UPS, CME, Wells Fargo, or no, that's Walgreens, okay? Exxon, Echelon, okay? Beyond Meat. Oh, should we? Here, hang on a second. That's got me going. Okay, this is Exxon, okay? Got some targets up here. You know, targets are not short sales. Hang on a second here. I think it's the page before this. Goodness gracious. What was I looking for? So, but I have these, okay, for example, what is that? Is this MasterCard? Yeah, that's MasterCard. Okay, you can see I had a little tiny olive line last time. This must have been late last year or early this year. That was Jan 26. Okay. Look at that. You had an outside down week, you know, a month. This is a monthly. Okay. So let's look at that on a daily here. Okay. Here you go. There's, see the sevens? That's a sell program. Okay, but let's go here. Jones LaSalle. Okay. No. What is this? I think this is a mortgage ETF. Here's ICE, the futures players. These things might end up selling off big if there's certain things floating around. Healthcare Trust, okay, Genworth Financial, and then this is these are products here. Look at this. This closes steady every day, I believe. Okay, and that's implied volatility. So, and then here, what do we got here? Big Bear. Ooh, I got something to say about this. I got something to say about that. Biotech here, okay. So we've had a pretty big rally here for a year. And what is this? BioNTech, okay. Beyond Meat, babe. There's Bill Gates, okay. This is the what do they call that thing with your heart rate? This is the heart rate of anybody that's eating these foreign meat or these fake meats, fake meat, fake news, fake meat, fake pandemic. Okay, so I think we're going to call this a wrap here. Let's just go back to end off on the grain here. Here, so gold, we got a little sell-off right there. And beans here, we're up 3 cents. You know what, let me go to a daily chart in beans. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to talk about beans. I'll do a separate video for that. So if you need something, you can trade one of those stocks or a stock, and you're like, okay, I got some thoughts here, and I might be willing to move if you got any big numbers or if there's any formations that these algos, high-frequency cheetahs, that Bart Chilton from the CFTC labeled high-frequency robots. Those are algorithms. Okay. Email me, arp@nastog.com. Thanks for watching. Always use a risk stop to stop the risk.